What's going on, guys? Your boy Maze. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me doing the versus series between Purgatory Meliodas and Ultimate Escanor. Who is the best unit in the game? So let's hop into the video. Before we actually hop into the video, make sure to subscribe to your boy Amazing. We are on the road to 35,000 subscribers. Guys, we recently just hit the 32,100 subscriber mark. Let's keep pushing, man. We're on the road to 35,000 subscribers. And with that out of the way, let's hop in and go over the Ultimate Escanor versus Purgatory Meliodas. Alright, guys, so let's discuss Ultimate Escanor first, as he was the one who came out in November of 2022 as the first half of the end of year festival celebration. Let's talk about Ultimate Escanor here. He is probably the best character on my account on my global, in my opinion, just because I have him 6 out of 6. My Purgatory Melee is 4 out of 6, but we'll still talk about like 6/6 effects and all that stuff. So Ultimate Escanor, he is the second light character in the game to ever release, the first one being Light Elizabeth, him being the second one. And in terms of his kit here, let's actually talk about it. So his first skill here is going to be inflicting scorch damage equal to 200% of attack on one enemy, scaling up to the 500% of attack. And in terms of scorch effect, it's going to be 1.3% additional damage for every percent of remaining HP on selves. So basically upgraded Flood. And then additional damage equal to 30% of final damage on all enemies. This is one of the best cards in Grand Cross like ever released, in my opinion, because it's just an upgraded Flood with the fact that it's AoE death basically. Which is so broken, man. So yeah, that's going to be the Scorch card right there. Moving on, Escanor also has the Crazy Prominence card, which is going to be inflicting overpowered damage equal to 120% of attack on all enemies, scaling up to the 300% of attack, and overpower is going to be 0.8% additional damage for every percent of HP missing from self. So for every less amount of HP you have, the more damage you're going to deal, and an additional damage equal to 35% of crit damage minus 100%. So you kind of have a little bit of a cleave effect on top of it as well. But this card can crit though, by the way, so if you guys didn't know. Yeah, man, absolutely insane. So those two cards automatically make Ultimate Escanor like one of the most broken characters to ever release. And then we go to his ultimate, where his ultimate is very crazy. I'll explain it though. So inflicts immolation damage equal to 750% of attack on all enemies. That's at 6 out of 6. Immolation is going to be additional damage for every percent of the hero's remaining HP, and then 1.2% additional damage for every percent of the hero's diminished HP. So reverse Flood and Flood, basically. So you have, no matter where your health is at, you're dealing 1.2% additional damage for every percent of lost HP or gained HP, which is super broken, right? And then the second part of his ultimate here is going to be an effect where you actually gain Final Flame. So when the hero dies, removes all effects, fully depletes the ultimate move gauge, and applies 4 Final Flame effects at 6 out of 6. One Final Flame is removed when taking damage during the enemy's turn of when the hero uses a skill, and the hero dies when all Final Flame effects are removed. So Escanor, basically the way he works is the higher the dupe level, the more revives he has, which is kind of broken. And he is very, very stupid at 6 out of 6, having 4 total Final Flames, meaning that you have to hit him 4 times after he dies before you can actually kill him, or he has to attack as well. So yeah, that is going to be the main skills right there for Ultimate Escanor. In terms of his passive here, Final Flame applies Holy Flame on the self at the start of the battle, increases the hero's damage dealt by 15% after using his skill up to 4 times. All of the hero's stats do not drop below their value at the start of the battle, and when taking fatal damage, the hero's attack related stats increase by 30%. Holy Flame is going to increase all stats by 4% with each passing turn for 5 turns total. So yeah, Ultimate Escanor, absolutely insane, guys. That's going to be his kit right there. And now let's move on to Purgatory Meliodas. Purgatory Meli was the second Darkness character to release in Grand Cross, the first one being Traitor Meliodas. So we only right now have Meliodas in terms of Darkness characters. But let's hop into his skills and then his unique. So in terms of Meliodas' first skill here, he has inflict frenzy damage equal to 200% of attack on one enemy, and this scales up to 500% of attack, with frenzy being a brand new effect in the game, dealing 1% additional damage for every hit of every percent of remaining HP on the enemy. So basically for every for the amount of HP the enemy has remaining, basically, not like Flood, but for every hit of HP the enemy has remaining, you do additional damage by 1%, and then 2 times pierce rate increase as well on the actual card itself. So you have a pierce card with, like, you know, Flood based on the enemy's HP basically. So that's pretty cool. Second card here for Meliodas is going to inflict slash damage equal to 120% of attack on all enemies. And it also scales up to 300% of attack, just like Escanor's card. Slash as an effect is going to be a brand new effect in the game as well. Additional damage equal to half of the hero's pierce rate. So you get it's kind of like a pierce effect, except you get a lot more damage based on the extra pierce you have, which I think is pretty cool. And then moving on to Purgatory Meliodas' ultimate. I do not have him 6 out of 6, but I think I have the 6 out of 6 effect anyway. So at 6 out of 6, it's going to be inflict magic burst damage equal to 750% of attack, minus 3 out of 6, so it's only 600 of attack. Then applies suppressed damage taken on self for 1 turn at 3 to 6. At 6 out of 6, 2 turns, okay, 2 turns. Magic Burst is going to ignore 60% crit resistance at 6 out of 6, and then 120% crit defense at 6 out of 6 as well. And then the suppressed damage taken will actually go up to, I think it's 40%. At 6 out of 6 if I'm not mistaken, which is absolutely insane. If we're taking that into comparison to Ultimate Escanor's ult, it is pretty insane, because you get a damage taken you can only basically take 40% damage at 6 out of 6 for 2 turns after you use the ult, which the ult already is gonna like wipe the enemy, as you guys can see with the way like Magic Burst works. So yeah, Purgatory Melee, absolutely insane in terms of these skills there. Let's move on to his passive here, where we got a whole ass Dokkan passive here, guys. So Curse of Purgatory applies 3 Shackles of Purgatory effects on self at the start of the battle. If an ally takes damage from an enemy skill used during their turn, or if the hero uses a skill, 1 Shackles of Purgatory effect will be removed. Once the effects are completely removed, the hero applies True Magic on self. True Magic is removed when the hero uses a skill, and when True Magic is removed, the hero once again applies 3 Shackles of Purgatory effects on self, then increases their damage dealt by 40% when attacking enemies that are either in a stance effect or affected by a debuff. And finally, applies an effect at the end of the enemy's turn, which removes 1 orb from the ultimate move gauge every turn for 2 turns on enemies who did not use a skill during their turn. Shackles of Purgatory is going to be demon allies damage taken minus 20%, so 20% damage reduction per Shackle of Purgatory. And then True Magic is going to remove all debuffs on self and apply 50% attack related stats. So absolutely insane. Both Purgatory Meliodas and Ultimate Escanor are really insane units in the game, guys. Now the question is, who is the better character between the two, Purgatory Meliodas or Ultimate Escanor? In my opinion, the slight edge goes to Ultimate Escanor, and the reason why Ultimate Escanor, in my opinion, is the all-around best unit in the game is because of the way his kit works and how valuable he is on your account, right? Versus Purgatory Meliodas, where he's mainly like a PvP character. He obviously does work in the PvE content as well, like Skull and Hadi, Bird, Demonic Beast Battle. Like, there's a lot of other things he's really useful in as well, but Trader Melee is kind of, you know, a good slot already for a lot of the things that Purgatory Meliodas is already good in PvE, right? In the PvP side of things, though, Purgatory Melee is definitively, like, either best unit in the game or second best unit in the game, arguably. You know, it really depends on where you would sit Purgatory Meliodas versus Ultimate Escanor. But overall, I say Ultimate Escanor is the best unit in the game because of the way he works, man. He's absolutely insane. 15% damage dealt for each skill up to 4 times, so you get 60% damage dealt, and that's throughout the entire fight no matter what. Holy Flame has only 5 turns, but if you're in PvP, Holy Flame is going to last the whole fight anyway, and if you're in PvE, by the time Holy Flame drops, you're still going to be able to deal a ton of damage as you have the 60% damage dealt. Ultimate Escanor skills as well are just, in my opinion, better than Purgatory Meliodas's. Like, having the Scorch where he does the additional damage AoE on the enemy is super strong. And then obviously this Overpower card where he has less HP does a lot of damage. So basically what you're trying to do is, like, when you do your single target, you want to do that when you start the fight, and then as you're starting to take damage, you start ripping the Crazy Prominence, and that's where you're really going to deal a lot more damage as well. So overall, I would say the best unit in the game is Ultimate Escanor, but it's by a very, very slight edge. And the reason why I give it to him as well, not just the cards, is also the ultimate effect that has the extra passive effect being the Final Flame Revive, which is very, very broken. Whereas like Purgatory Meliodas, his passive is a lot longer, right? But the problem is that once he drops his ultimate anyway, he's already going to be wiping the field, right? Like, he's already going to be wiping the field. Ultimate Escanor's ultimate, it has the effect already, but he also has extra passive effects on the ultimate, being the extra Final Flame, so you get per dupe level. So overall, like, in terms of like who is more valuable dupe wise, Ultimate Escanor is going to be the way to go. But if we're talking about like you know, Purgatory Meliodas just as a character himself, he might be better lower dupes than Ultimate Escanor, honestly, because Ultimate Escanor at 1 into 6, he's only going to have 1 revive, whereas Purgatory Meli, like his kit doesn't really change at 1 into 6 versus Ultimate Escanor being low dupe. So arguably you could say Purgatory Meliodas is a little bit better, but that's only if you're talking about the lower dupe levels. If we're talking higher dupe levels and we're talking about both of them completely maxed out, Ultimate Escanor does take the cake because he gets 4 extra revives, guys. It's just not fair. You know what I mean? It's just stupid. So Ultimate Escanor being the best unit in the game, I think is definitive at the moment. You guys can let me know in the comment section below what you believe. Honestly, though, I do think Ultimate Escanor is the best still. Since he's released, like Purgatory Meli is like right there, though, man. He is right there. When Demon Tier starts getting like a ton of holy relics and stuff, I feel like Meliodas' value will probably like rise and be a little bit better than Escanor. But Escanor right now, just in overall general content, he's just going to be the way to go. PvE, PvP, I think he is the best unit in the game. So yeah, guys, that's my versus there between Ultimate Escanor and Purgatory Meli. In terms of like which content each of them is better in, Purgatory Meli is definitely better in the PvP side of things than Ultimate Escanor. I'd say it's a slight edge. And then Ultimate Escanor in terms of the PvE content is going to definitely watch Purgatory Meli in that. But yeah, it's very close, guys. In PvP, though, Ultimate Escanor as a backline on Meliodas' team is one of the best teams in the game too. So, you know, you got to take that into account as well. So that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a good rest of your day.